Very good morning to everyone. We are still discussing about Rutherford model. The results of Rutherford model or applications of Rutherford model. First application, that is the radius of nucleus and radius of atom. From that volume of radius and volume of atom that we have calculated already. And the next application, if we see application or uses, we can results, whatever you can take. Second one, calculation of number of alpha particles. Calculation of number of alpha particles. So according to Rutherford model, we know that let us take an atom. Here the nucleus present at the center of the atom. If you pass alpha particles and which are moving a little bit away from the nucleus, they can undergo deflection with a smaller angle, which are moving exactly through that center point, they can reflect back. But here very few number of particles can reflect back, which are moving to the center of the atom, and the alpha particles which are moving little closer to the nucleus, they can deflect, but here more number, right? From this we have to calculate how many alpha particles are deflecting. So we have the formula here. See, according to this, this deflection angle, in this case the deflection angle, and this is a, let us assume first alpha particle and this is the second alpha particle. Which case the deflection angle is more, first alpha particle or second alpha particle? So here the deflection angle is almost bounced back, means 180 degree, right? It is, we don't know exactly, but less than 180. Maybe 90, maybe 60, maybe 120, 150, we don't know what it is, but less than 180, right? So here this second alpha particle has more number of, more deflection angle than the first alpha particle. But we know that here the alpha particles which are deflecting with 180 degree angle, they are very less in number, means out of 20,000 only one particle, but which are deflecting with some angle less than 180, they are little bit more compared to this second one. So from this we can conclude that the number of alpha particles is inversely proportional to the angle, isn't it? So from this we can derive one relation, the number of alpha particles scattered . The number of alpha particle scattered at an angle theta is inversely proportional to fourth power of sin theta by 2. So here the number of alpha particles scattered at an angle theta is inversely proportional to the fourth power of sin theta by 2. Means we can write the number of alpha particles which is scattered at an angle theta is inversely proportional to sin power 4 theta by 2. This is a formula. So from this, higher the scattered angle, ultimately number of particles are lower alpha particle, and lower the scattered angle, higher the number of alpha particles scattered. So we can write if scattered angle is high, then ultimately the number of alpha particles scattered is less. Then if scattered angle is low, number of alpha particles scattered is high, just vice versa.
One scroll up, sir.
There is vice versa. No, no, no. The question related to the number of alpha particles. In alpha particle scattering experiment, and alpha scattering experiment, number of alpha particles scattered at an angle 60 degree is 112 means 112 per minute. Then calculate number of alpha particles scattered at an angle 90. So here number of alpha particles scattered in alpha particle experiment at an angle of 60 degrees is 112 per minute. Then how many alpha particles can be scattered at an angle of 90? Just the previous formula we can use here. Number of alpha particles scattered at 90 degree by number of alpha particles scattered at 60 degree is equals to, you can write
28 per
sine 60 by 2 power 4. This is sine 90 by 2 power. Isn't it? Sine 60 by 2 means sine 30. What is the value of sine 30? 1 by 2.
Sir,
Power
it's
sine 90 by 2, sine
alpha particles
45.
are equal to 448.
Sine 90 by 2 means 45. Sine 45 value how much? 1 by root.
1 by 16 by 1 by 4.
This is 1 by 16.
1 by 16 by 1 by 4. Into 4 by 1.
This is 4 by 1. So
112 into
1 by
4 equal to 1 by 4.
Then we required number of alpha particle at 90 is equals to 1 by 4 into this number of alpha particle at 60. They give how much it is? 112. So we will get 28 alpha particles. Next one here, distance of closest approach. This is also very important. Distance of closest approach. We can represent this R minimum. R means the internuclear distance, minimum internuclear distance of alpha particle. Distance of closest approach of alpha particle. Again, according to the Rutherford experiment, we know that we have here some atom. Let us take a gold foil here, gold atom. In the center we have the positive charge. And somewhere here we have the alpha particle. We are passing this alpha particle through the gold atom. Then if you pass alpha particle, it will come. Let us assume it is moving to the center point. Then it cannot reach exactly close to the nucleus. Some part, somewhere here, it will stop. At some point. Why it will stop? Due to the alpha particle is a dipositive helium. And nucleus also having the positive charge. There is a repulsion between positive. So it cannot move exactly to the center of the nucleus. Somewhere it will stop. Then at what distance it can approach? That is the distance between here and here, this point. So now we have to calculate the distance between these two. Let us assume this is the outer sphere of the nucleus. Then, so this is the distance, and this is called closest approach. Up to this, it can how much distance is there between the alpha particle reached to the nucleus and the outer surface of the nucleus. And this is called R minimum, and this value we have to calculate. Right? There is a distance of closest approach. So here, what we'll assume? Let us assume this is point A. Somewhere, some point A, alpha particle is ejecting, and it will reach some final point B. And the distance, so this is R minimum. This we have to calculate. Now see, Nana. Here we assume that the point is at infinite distance. This is at infinite distance. Right? Because we don't know exactly. You should assume that at infinite distance. And the alpha particle is moving with a velocity of v alpha. Let us assume the speed of the alpha particle is v alpha. Now here distance, the distance between A and B, now it is R is equals to infinity here. Now tell me at point A. Potential energy. What is the formula for potential energy? Now we have the particle. Here we have the alpha particle, and this is the there is a atom nucleus, right? Then potential. Let us assume the alpha particle charge is Q1 here, and its charge is Q2. The nucleus charge is Q2, and here the nuclear charge is Q1. Then potential energy between two charged particles, they are present at a distance. What is the distance? Infinity distance. We don't know, right? Then potential energy is equals to K into Q1 Q2 by R. That is equals to, what is R, Nana? R is equal to infinity. Then something by infinity will get 0. Then at this point the potential energy is equal to 0. Similarly, you calculate kinetic energy. What is the kinetic energy here? Of here M. M is mass of alpha particle. V. V means velocity of alpha particle. So of mv square. Let us take this alpha. This is alpha. Hence mass of alpha particle, velocity of alpha particle, and these are the potential and kinetic energies at point A. Similarly, at point B. See, at point A, the alpha particle is moving with some velocity v in v alpha. Then what is the velocity of alpha particle at point B? V alpha is equals to how much at point B? Complete, it will stop right at point B. There is no further movement. Why? Because there is, due to the repulsion, the alpha particle can stop here. So the velocity of alpha particle at point B equal to 0. Right? Now again, potential energy at point B is equals to, anyhow, K Q1 Q2 by R. What is the R now? The distance. Point. Now we are calculating at point means here let us assume the charge Q1 and again this is Q2. The distance between these two Q1 Q2 charge. Now they are placed at what distance? At a distance of minimum distance, R minimum. There are nothing but closest approach, R minimum. So we have certain value here. In case of in this potential energy at point B, we have some considerable amount of potential energy, but at point A, potential energy is 0. Why? Because it is present at infinite distance. Here R equal to infinity. And similarly, kinetic energy you calculate of m alpha v alpha square. But what is the velocity of alpha particle at point B? It is completely 0. So overall value kinetic energy is 0. So at point A we have some amount of kinetic energy, at point B we have some amount of potential energy. But what is the total energy at point A? Total energy at point A is equals to potential energy plus kinetic energy. Similarly, total energy at point B is equals to potential energy plus kinetic energy. But according to the law of conservation of energy, total energy should be constant, right? Energy neither created nor destroyed. So according to law of conservation of energy, total energy should be remains constant. Means total energy at point A should be equal to total energy at point B. What is the total energy at point A? Anyhow, potential energy is 0. What left? None, only kinetic energy. Kinetic energy means of m alpha v alpha square. And total energy at point B, here kinetic energy is 0. What left? Only the potential energy. What is the value potential energy? K into Q1, Q2 by R minimum. From this, you calculate what we require distance of closest approach, that is R minimum. So R minimum is equals to 2 into K into Q1, Q2 by M alpha V alpha square. And this is the distance of closest approach. Here what is the 2? 2 is the constant value. K also constant. We know that there is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. That value is 9 into 10 power 9. Q1, this is the charge of alpha particle. Q2, this is the charge of atom plate. That is a here Rutherford experiment. This is a gold. Gold means 79 atomic number. We have 79 protons in the nucleus. And M alpha means mass of alpha particle and V alpha means velocity of alpha particles. Yes, you can write all these terms here. Q1 and Q2. Charge of alpha particle and in case of Rutherford experiment, we can take this as a gold particle. It may be gold, sometime we can take some other X particle also in gold atom. And M alpha, mass of alpha particle, V alpha nothing but velocity of alpha particle, and K already we have discussed. This is a constant value that equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, that is equals to 9 into 10 power 9. If you take the remaining values in SI unit, or you can take 1, the values if you take in CGS unit. I will see further here. This is the formula we have, R minimum. Distance of closest approach is equals to 2 into K into Q1 Q2 by M alpha V alpha square, right? Here Q1 is the charge of alpha particle, Q is the target. If it is a gold, there is a, we can say, charge 79 protons there, but instead of gold we can take some X atom whose atomic number Z. So then we can write further as 2 into K into Q1 means charge of alpha particle, means 2 into E. What is the charge in alpha particle? Dipositive helium. So 2 positive charge. And what is the charge of the atom nucleus? That depends on the atomic number. Let us assume the atomic number of that particular nucleus is Z. Then Z. M alpha V alpha square. Can we write like this? So we are taking the charge particles here in terms of the overall charge with respect to this E values. R minimum will become like this. 2 into 2, 4 K Z E square by m alpha v alpha square. You can extend this. This is the final equation that you should remember. From this final equation, we are extending. If you know the atomic number of targeted nucleus, then you can directly substitute here. And E means charge of electron or proton. Just the charge 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. If it is electron negative charge, if it is a proton, positive charge will take. This I will write further like this. Should remember this formula also. R minimum is equals to 2kz E square by m alpha v alpha square by 2. So can we write like this? Again 2 to 4. So m alpha v alpha. What is this value? M alpha v alpha square by 2 means of m alpha v alpha square. That is kinetic energy. So 2 into k into z E square by kinetic energy.
Sir, one scroll up, sir. One step above.
So here you see Nana, K is the kinetic energy. So if they give the data in terms of kinetic energy, directly we can take the targeted atom, atomic number and a charge and kinetic energy you can substitute here. So we can write the another formula here. A distance of closest approach R minimum is equals to 2 into k into z E square by kinetic energy. This is in terms of kinetic energy. If they give in terms of mass and velocity, that we can use this formula, and if they give kinetic energy, you can use this one. And from this, anyhow here C2 is constant, K is the constant, charge also constant, but Z value, Z is not constant, that depends on the targeted nucleus. And kinetic energy also variable parameter. So, if the distance of closest approach depends on what? It depends on the type of the nucleus and the kinetic energy of the alpha particle. So, this we can write simply alpha minimum. The distance of closest approach is directly proportional to the atomic number of the nucleus by its kinetic energy of the alpha particle. You should remember this point. And one more nano from here, see R minimum. Let us assume from this m alpha, mass of alpha particle always constant, mass will not change, K again constant, 4 is constant, E is constant. Now R minimum depends on velocity of alpha particle and also atomic number. We can write another here is Z by kinetic energy is directly proportional to anyhow velocity of alpha particle means velocity square. These two are also important. So here if I ask what is the minimum distance for gold particle అని అనుకోండి ఏమవుతుందిరా రుతర్ఫోర్డ్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ నుంచి ఫర్ గోల్డ్ ఆటమ్ కేసులో ఆర్ మినిమం ఏమవుతుందన్న if you apply Z అంటే here atomic number of gold, that is a 79. So 2 into 79 into Ke square by this is kinetic energy, this is kinetic energy directly this part. How much it is? 158. 158
Yes,
Ke square by K. That's లేకపోతే మాస్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ఫా పార్టికల్ అది తీసుకున్నాను అనుకోండి అగైన్ బై 2 1 by 2 అంటే దిస్ ఈస్ 300 316 K E square by m alpha V alpha square. Then after you can substitute K, you know, charge, you know, mass of alpha particle, you know, velocity of alpha particle, whatever they'll be. Then you can substitute it, you can find out distance of closest approach. So here we'll see one question related to this distance of closest approach. When alpha particle is projected from infinity with velocity v naught towards the nucleus of gold atom. Then find out these values. First one, distance of closest approach, here it is R naught. Next, velocity of alpha particle, at a distance to R naught from the nucleus. Next, speed of the alpha particle. Velocity speed means both are the same only. The speed of alpha particle at a distance R naught by 2 from the nucleus. And fourth one, percentage change in speed. In third case, or in case percentage change in speed of alpha particle. In case 3. So these are the 4 different type of questions. When alpha particle is projected from infinity with a velocity of v naught towards the nucleus of gold atom. Then you have to identify the distance of closest approach. Then velocity of alpha particle at where the distance is to R naught from the nucleus. Similarly, again the velocity of speed of alpha particle at a distance of R naught by 2. And the percentage change in speed in percentage change in speed of alpha particle. The speed of alpha particle in case 3.
Yes, sir.
Now we will see the solution for this question. First one, as usual, direct formula, distance of closest approach, that is R naught is equals to formula 4k z e square by m alpha v alpha square, that is equals to 4 is 4 only, k here gold nucleus atomic number 79, let it be charge e square. Now m alpha is mass of alpha particle. What is the velocity here? A velocity they gave v naught.
V naught.
V naught. We don't know what is that value. This should let us see. So from this we will get it. This is 316 k e square by m alpha v naught square. So this is the first one. The distance of closest approach is this much. If you substitute this E value and K value M alpha, then you will get some value. No need to substitute here. This is lengthy. If they ask in exam, you can proceed, but not required. There is the first answer. And second one. What is the second one here? Velocity of alpha particle at a distance of 2 r naught. Here somewhere we are passing the alpha particle. Let us assume here the gold atom. This is the distance of closest approach. Let us means this is r naught value. And at this point, this is let us assume point A and this is point B. We know that at point B velocity of alpha particle equal to 0. But they are asking to calculate velocity where at a distance of 2 r naught. If this is r naught, again so much same distance we can take here. So here to here, this is called 2 r naught distance. This point, let us assume point C. At point C, we have to calculate velocity of alpha particle. We know that at point B, velocity is 0, but at point C, it is not 0. Why? Because still the alpha particle is moving towards B, right? So at this point, we have some velocity. What it is, we have to calculate. Now we have distance of closest. Let us assume this 2 r naught is now the distance of closest approach. You apply these values in a given equation. What formula? Now you apply formula here, Nana. At point A and point C. What are the values? We know that of mv square according to the previous of m alpha. V alpha means velocity of alpha particle, V naught square is equals to, and at point C we have, now at point B we know that the kinetic energy equal to 0 and potential energy is not equal to 0, but at point C we have some amount of kinetic energy also. Why? Because we have velocity of alpha particle, that is V. Here velocity of alpha particle V0 initially, but finally it has some velocity V, right? So we can write initial according to the same the derivation. Total energy of the system should be conserved, and here potential energy is 0 at point A, but kinetic energy is of m alpha V naught square is equals to potential energy, that is K into Q1 Q2 by R naught. Here R naught means 2 R naught, distance of closest approach, plus what is the kinetic energy of m alpha V alpha. Means V alpha means, let us assume we have to calculate velocity V square. Understood this point first? This is important. Why? Because
Sir, once again, can you tell, sir?
energy at point A should be equal to energy at point C, right? Energy at point A is what? It is a sum of potential energy and kinetic energy. But at point A, potential energy is 0. Already we discussed it. Because here at infinity distance, we the R value equal to infinity. So we'll get 1 by infinity 0. Potential energy equal to 0. What left? Only kinetic energy left. What is the kinetic energy at point A? Half into mass of alpha particle, velocity of alpha particle. What is the velocity of alpha particle? V naught. So V naught square is equals to, at point C. At point C, the velocity of alpha particle is not equal to 0. At point B it is 0, but not at point C. So we have two energies here, potential energy as well as the kinetic energy. What is the potential energy? K into Q1 Q2 by R minimum. Right. What is R minimum here? At point C case, 2 R naught. The distance. This is the internuclear distance is 2 R naught. 2 here, point C and then nucleus. Both are separated by a distance 2 R naught. That I wrote here, 2 R naught. This part over. Next. At point C we have kinetic energy also. What is the kinetic energy of m alpha? What is the velocity? We have to calculate this velocity. Let us assume that is V. So V square. Now understood?
Yes, sir.
And next.
Sir, m alpha value for the distance.
Now see here. Our aim is we have to calculate this V value of m alpha V naught square is equals to K into Q1, Q2. This Q1, Q2 we can write. Q1 is alpha particle, so 2e, and Q2 is 79e by 2. What is R naught? See, in the first question we calculated R naught equal to 316 K E square by M alpha V naught square. That you can substitute here. What is that? 316 K E square by M alpha V naught. This is the value. And from this, this 2 to cancel out. 79, this is 4 times this of M alpha V square. Then this will get of M alpha V naught square is equals to what value left here? 1 by 4. And KK also will cancel out. We left with 1 by 4 M alpha V naught square. Right? Yes, of E square also. This is E square also. So this is the value finally we left with. Again of M alpha, here 1 by 2 M alpha you can cancel out, and 1 by 2 M alpha. Then V naught square is equals to 1 by 2 V naught square plus B square. From this V square, what left now? 1 by 2 V naught square. Means V is equals to V naught by under root. So this is the velocity at point C. That is initial velocity by root 2 times. If you know the initial velocity, you can calculate by taking root 2. The final velocity at point C means at a distance of 2 R naught, twice of the minimum closest approach. Minimum distance of closest approach or minimum distance. Let's see third one here. We have to calculate again the velocity at a point. Again at point A from infinity, alpha particle is moving, and this is the point B. We know that the distance of closest approach, then the gold nucleus. Here still if you apply more kinetic energy or more velocity, the particle can move little more close to that alpha particle. Here to here we didn't know the minimum distance or not. Now we assume that the particle is moving up to this. Here the distance is R naught by 2. Now at this point C, let us assume at this particular point we have to calculate what is the velocity. So initial velocity with V naught at a distance of infinity. Again same derivation you can apply. First we will go with the derivation, then after first you apply again the same derivation, and then after you go that shortcut method. First at point E, the energy at point A should be equal to energy at point C. What is the energy at point A? Only kinetic energy we have of M alpha. Here initially velocity V naught square is equal to. At point C now, this is the, and I have again point C, the velocity of alpha particle is 0. Why? Because this is the distance of closest approach. Beyond that it cannot move. Again here will exist with only potential energy here, no kinetic energy. Here kinetic energy equal to 0. Potential energy again K Q1 Q2 by R. What is the R value here? Here R equal to R0 by 2. Nothing but K into Q1, that is the 2E, Q2 79E by R naught. What is the R naught value? 316 K E square by M alpha velocity. We have to calculate V square value at this point. V square we have to calculate. This is into 1 by 2 means this will come up. Just I will check it. These 2 to 79 will cancel out. 316 K E square and K E square, everything cancel out. What left? Of M alpha V naught square is equals to, what is the fourth one? What is the percentage change in speed in case 3? Case 3, what is the initial velocity? V naught, but this is, let us assume V1 is equals to V0, then final velocity V2 equal to root 2 V0. Then percentage change. In velocity. So final minus initial by initial value. Final ante root 2 V naught minus initial V0 by initial into 100. Root 2 means 1.414. So 0.41 means 100. You will get 41%. Here R naught, V naught cancel out. Root 2 minus 1. 0.41, 41%. The question 3 కొంచెం mismatch అయిందన్న. So that is why we got wrong answer. We should rewrite this question. Question wrong. Here what will be the speed of alpha particle if it reaches only R naught by 2. The question here like this: what will the speed of alpha particle we have to calculate if it reaches R0 by 2? Okay, we have done the calculation, little wrong here. We'll come back. See again, once again, this is correct only. Initially, we know that at R0, at point B, if alpha particle reaches point B, the velocity is V naught. But if alpha particle, you want to reach the point C, then velocity should be changed, right? At that case, let us assume velocity is V. So here V is the initial velocity. Here, if we take initial velocity V naught, it will reach the point B. But if we change the initial velocity, it will reach the point C also. Now we have to calculate this. Here, question we wrote like second, third, we wrote like both the same. That is why we did the calculation. Now here of M alpha V square, this we have to calculate. Here this is a V, not V naught. Why? Because we don't know. Second time. Why? Because we are increasing the speed to reach further. Right? Then this is V square is equals to, as usual, K Q1 Q2 by R naught plus 2. And that is equals to everything. The remaining calculations are same. And here instead of this V naught, we should take here V. But this value, we know that this is V naught value. So R0 by 2. R0 related to what? Related to that V0 value. So this one V0 R naught is equals to that we have to substitute. That we did wrong. This is V naught square and this is V naught square, and from this we will get V is equals to root 2 V naught. One more small. Alpha particles are projected towards the following metals. With same kinetic energy. Then find out towards which metal The distance of closest approach is minimum. Towards which metal the distance of closest approach is minimum. We have the options here. Option A, zinc. Option B, cadmium. And option C, copper. And option D, aluminum. Alpha particles are projected towards the following metals with same kinetic energy. Then, in which case we have the distance of closest approach is minimum.
Aluminium, sir.
So your answer is aluminum. Why? Because the distance of closest approach R is directly proportional to atomic number and inversely proportional to kinetic energy. Your kinetic energy is constant, then R depends on what? Atomic number only. As atomic number increases, R value increases. Atomic number decreases, R decreases. Aluminum, it is the lowest atomic number, 13. That is why it has the less distance of, there is a minimum distance of closest approach. So this is something about the Rutherford model. Next we will see the drawbacks of Rutherford model. What are the drawbacks here? We know that according to Rutherford, the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a circular path with higher speed, right? Here, nucleus, around the nucleus, the electron is revolving with a high speed. But according to classical mechanical theory, when any charged particle revolves or any radiating particle revolves around in a circular path with high speed, it emits some radiation. Revolutions can emit some radiations. If this electron revolving around this nucleus in a particular circular orbits, this electron also should emit some radiation. Then if it emits some radiation, after some time, it loses all of its energy. Then slowly it will move in a spiral path by losing its energy, and finally it should be fall in the nucleus. Then the electron should be collapse. If the electron collapse, automatically atom also should be collapsed. But atom is stable. Then why this atom is stable and why this electron is not losing its energy? And this point he couldn't explain. That is the main drawback of Rutherford. Okay, this means mainly the stability of atom couldn't explain by the Rutherford. Why electron is in a stable manner? Why it is not losing its energy, and why it is not falling into the nucleus after radiating the energy? And the second drawback is he couldn't explain the distribution of electrons around the nucleus. And also the stability and distribution of electrons. These are the main drawbacks of Rutherford. And also he couldn't explain the hydrogen spectrum. Hydrogen spectrum is a line spectrum. Why it is a line spectrum also I couldn't explain. About that we will discuss later about hydrogen spectrum. Just you can write the main drawbacks here. It was failed to explain the stability of atom. Why atom is stable? Why electron is not collapsing? Because why it emitting some radiation even though it is stable. That is the main drawback. It does not explain the distribution of electrons. Distribution of electrons. How electrons were distributed in a particular orbits, that we couldn't explain. Around the nucleus. And also energies of electrons. These are the main drawbacks of Rutherford. Stability and distribution of electrons and energies of electrons. So this is overall about Rutherford model. Okay, we will stop the class here. The remaining we can see in the next class.